Humphrey and defensive end Mark Fackler. Coach?
Yeah. Again, thanks for being here. Coming off again a tough road loss to Ball State, but had some opportunities to sit there and get it done. Just didn't work out for us. But the kids played hard. Probably one of our better games in a lot of different areas. A couple areas we got to get better at, and we talk about it all the time. But drive start analysis and our kickoff team put them in good situations that we got to make sure that we get corrected. But proud of the locker room, proud of our kids, and got a big challenge this week, going on the road again against a very good South Alabama team. So our guys are looking forward to it, going back on the road in a place that our older guys are a little bit familiar with being in there in January. But a tough football team, and be a tough battle for our guys.
Say about the offense going for over 400 yards against Ball State?
There's a lot of good things that happen. We established the run and ran the football, very well. Our receivers did a good job of catching the ball, and we had opportunities. I know Chris had a big game for us, and we just had a couple chances and a couple times that we needed to make a play, and it didn't happen for us. But there's a lot that you can build on with the 5 games left of the season that we got to continue to do, and there's a couple mistakes we got to make sure that we clean up on.
About the rushing attack in general last few weeks. I know that was a real, struggling to get that going. Pretty much tied, 3 games together now that's been like you expected it to be, I guess.
Yeah, and that's where, you've been in some games that you can kind of get it established a little bit, and, Northern was a little bit different that we had to get away from it. Wish you could kept it going, but, it's a big part of who we are and what we need to be successful at, in the game of football. You got to be able to do it, and I think it opens up our pass game and who we are. So just unfortunate on that time that we needed to run it on the 1-yard line. It didn't happen for us. But there's a lot of positives from it that you can sit there and see that you can run the football.
You've kind of said over and over the type of team you want to be going back to that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to pound it in.
Yeah.
It's flat out what you want to be. You got in that situation and you stuck your guns and did it. Obviously, it just didn't work out.
But again, if I had the situation over again, I'd call the same play, because that's our best play. They just made a play and we didn't. They dug it out, they got underneath our guys and they made a play. But that is who we are. And if you were to call the timeout and brought all the guys over and you say, all right, what do you want to do? They would have said do the same thing, call 26 power. So it's our best play. It didn't work, but I'm not going to second guess not doing it again. It's not about the play. It's about executing the play, and we didn't execute it, and they did.
How tough was it trying to game plan for Willie Snead?
I don't know if it was, tough because, again, I think anytime you game plan for one person, and I know he had a big game, but anytime you game plan for one person, someone else, we found that out the week before, against Northern Illinois. So, he made a couple plays, and really the couple plays that he made, you had guys there. He just made the play, and our guy didn't. And guys will learn from that, and they will sit there and grow from it, and they got to sit there and make the play, and that's what we expect out of them. We had a lot of bracket coverage, on guys, but you can't bracket 4 wide receivers. You ain't got enough guys. But there are times when our guys made plays on him also too. So they're a very good football team. There's a reason why they're 6-1, and like I said, our guys will learn from it. But the situations that we were in, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't sit there and don't second guess the things that we called. We just got to sit there and make plays at certain times.
Chris, what was, obviously you lose Colin there at the end of the game. You have your backup quarterback in. You're trying to drive for a game-tying field goal at least there at the end. Can you just kind of talk about what was it like to be in the huddle at that point?
Being in the huddle there, it's kind of like, your dream. You need to put points on the board to either tie or win the game. It's a crucial situation, and I had faith in Fisher, but I mean, even though we weren't able to get it done, I felt, what we could have done better probably was maybe slow it down a little bit. Keep our composure. I feel like we might have rushed some things, but in the end, we fell short, and I know in the future, definitely now we know we've been in that type of situation now. We know how to act in the future now, in the future games.
Speaking of, how does Reardon and Melchiori look?
As far as their health,
Yeah.
they're beat up. So we'll see how they go during the week, but as of right now, they're probably doubtful.
You got 3 MAC losses now. Obviously, defending is going to be extremely difficult. You head into this game now. I know another huge goal this year was to make it to a bowl game.
Right.
This turns into a huge game to make that happen. So I guess my question would be, maybe typically when you get all these injuries, you may kind of try to rest some guys in a situation like this with a non-league game. But how do you approach this game with that goal in mind?
I mean, we sat there, and the message I gave to these guys on Sunday is we got 5-game season, and we got to go 5-0, for us to achieve our goal and make sure that we're bowl eligible and do those things. We got to go 5-0. So every game is a big game, for us right now, and our guys understand that. But the beauty of this team is everybody is we're hurt because you had chances to win it, but. I sat there and we talked about there's no reason to sulk about it. It is what it is. Now we got to move forward, and we got 5 games to go that we got to sit there and we got to win. And that's the situation we're in. So that's how we go attack it. We're going to forget about it, as best we can. But South Alabama don't care how we're feeling, so we can't sit there and sulk around and think back about what happened. You just move forward, you go to work, and prepare like crazy.
Anybody that can play this weekend will be in.
Oh, there's no doubt. And the thing about it is they will play. They will want to. I mean, Nate Terhune went out there for 8 plays, and we wasn't keeping him on the sideline. So our guys are chomping at the bit to get out there. I mean, like I said, and I said it as a joke, but we need straitjackets to keep guys off the field because they want to get out there for their teammates. But that is why you love this locker room, because you got guys like that who are going to go out there with one arm, one leg, and just give it all they got.
Can you speak a little more specifically to the injuries to Melchiori and to Reardon? With Melchiori, you need him to make that play. Sometimes though people will say that they try to tell their kicker, especially a kicker, that's also a player that's that valuable. You know what? I know that's not in him as a player. So just curious, when it happened, is that you wanted him to do it, but then when it turned to kind of go, well, geez, maybe we shouldn't.
Well, and the thing before, he was kind of injured before then, with it. It's just something that happened. But, it's hard not to say, keep backpedaling, till someone else comes. I mean, Anthony's a different type of kicker. That's going to be hard for him to sit there and do. He's going to go and make a play. So, it is what it is, but it is his hamstring. But when your kicker gets hurt, I mean, it's kind of like, and when your quarterback gets hurt off of a play fake, it's like, what do you do? I mean, how do you prevent it? No, it was just a step, So, but, like you said, it is what it is. It's happening. We got to address it. We got to, next guy in and move forward. Because you still have a chance to go to a bowl game. You still got a chance to finish it out right. And, you sit there and I feel more comfortable when I sit there. I sulk a lot. My wife will sit there and tell me at home, but when I get to the office, when I get around these kids, get around the rest of the coaches, you feel rejuvenated, and when you get in front of them and they got a look in their eye like they can't wait to get back out there. That's the hard part about football is you got to wait a whole week. In other sports you play in 2 days and you get back out there and you get ready to roll. But, anytime I get around these guys and see the look in their eye like they want to continue to fight and go, that's how you stay positive. And, it's difficult. It is tough, especially when you come off of a loss like that, because you got a chance to win it, but you still got to finish. And our job, and we all signed up for this, is to go out there and give it our best, and that's what we would continue to do.
You talk about who's going to step into these positions and how trying to train is that we're assuming that if they are beat out, maybe they don't.
Well, Brad Miller stepped in, for our kicking responsibilities. Horn stepped in for our punting responsibilities. David Fisher, of course, for our quarterback, situation. Those are really, to me, the main ones. We still got a lot of other, banged up guys. Rosie is banged up like crazy, right now, and Bisco with his ankle, Pat McShane with his knee. I mean, it's all over the place. But, like I said, those guys are going to continue to go out there and fight like crazy and give us all they got. And, that's what you love about it.
Change the offense at all for Fisher?
No. I mean, Fish knows this offense, I think, really well. For us to change it, I think we'll have to, I think it would screw him up a little bit more. Both of those guys are a little bit similar as far as athletic ability, so, I don't see us changing it.
Obviously, if Fisher does have to go, he has a week of prep. It's going to be a huge help. I mean, thrust into the game like he was last time.
Yeah.
Just talk about having a week and getting him ready to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That situation is hard for any quarterback to be thrown in that situation at the last drive, and you're trying to go win it, and they're pinning their ears back and just rushing like crazy. But in a normal situation, like you said, that you have a whole week to sit there and prepare and take the reps and slow it down, and I think he'll be even better. It was a quarterback battle, for a long time. So those guys got a lot of reps, and we felt comfortable, just like Chris said, we feel comfortable with David. There's a couple other things that we felt Colin did better to make him the starter, but we feel really good about David being out there on the field for us.
Is there any relief that the tougher part of your schedule is now over behind you?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think this is a tough conference. I think week in and week out, you can sit there and get beat if you don't show up and prepare. You look at our record, and we're a better football team than what it shows, and I'm sure you look at Miami of Ohio, you look at UMass, you look at everybody else that we play, I'm sure they feel the same way. Everyone has a tough schedule in this conference. And, to sit there and say that we got easy games coming up, I disagree. We got tough games coming up, and it's tough because of the situation that we're in, also too. But, by any means, can we roll our helmets out there and win? We gotta show up. We gotta play. We gotta prepare. And when people sit there and say the easier part is over, that's what tends to happen. We got tough road, to go. We got a lot of more road games, and we gotta go out there and prepare and play hard.
Chris, how about you? You said you have faith in David Fisher. Is there a little bit of an acclimation period, though, adjusting from Colin to David?
I wouldn't say that. In practice, I tend to go with both of them, whether we're doing individual routes or whatever we're doing. I personally speaking, I don't feel the need that I need to throw more reps with Fisher just to get more comfortable with him. I mean, he came in last year, and that's when I just started to get more comfortable with him. And as I said before, yeah, I trust him. I know he knows what he has to do, and I know what I have to do when I run my route. I know he'll give me the ball, if I'm open or whoever's open when he reads his reads. But he definitely knows this offense. And this week of preparing for South Alabama will definitely help him more. Even get him more comfortable with throwing me and all the other wideouts the ball.
Can you guys just both talk about the mentality at this point, and then Mark moving forward? Coach talked about the 5-game season.
Yeah, like Coach said, it's going to be a 5-week season. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I mean, it's a game we all love to play. I mean, our backs are kind of against the wall, but I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. I love these guys in this locker room, and we're going to fight till the end, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, along with what Mark said, we're definitely hungry now. You know, we really got nothing, much to lose. So we're going to go out there every game and just, bust our tails and try to finish out the season right and play for the seniors. This is our last year. They've been saying that a lot. We want to send them off on a great note. So the whole team, young to old, we're going to bust our tails and do what we can to finish out the season right.
Is the bowl goal something you guys talk about much, or is it just one game at a time type thing?
At this point, it's just one game at a time. You can't get to a bowl thinking about the last game of the season or anything else. I mean, right now, we got to take it day by day. Today, we got to get in and watch film, like, all throughout the week. We got to have great practices, and we got to have our focus right now in South Alabama, because if we don't beat them, nothing else will happen. So we got to take care of business first.
Yeah, bowl game is not in my mindset right now. South Alabama first, and then the next team we play after them. But take it one game at a time, and then see what pans out. And then once the season ends, that's when you start thinking of, can we go to a bowl game or not?
You know what I haven't? I sat there and, this morning I tend to look at their offense a little bit, and then this afternoon I take a look at their defense. I looked at their defense a little bit just to see how that Troy game ended, which was crazy, for them. But, I would compare them offensively to as close as possible to Northern Illinois. They have two very athletic quarterbacks. They use a two-quarterback system. That those guys both play significantly in a game. I'm sure there's a rotation that they have, but at any point in time you may see either one of them. But they're both similar. I think one's 6'3", the other's 6'5", one's 205, the other one's 220. Very athletic. They got very strong arms. They have a controlled passing game, I would say. A lot of short routes, and then they take their shots over the top, a bunch. But they do run their quarterback a whole lot. So poses a threat of us defensively just because they spread you out and you still got two running backs, in the backfield, which is always causes a problem for defenses. So going to be very, very tough. They are no huddle. They're fast-paced. They're all of that, and that's why they've been in every game that they've played. So, I watched them at the end of that. Again, that's the only really series I watched them defensively. But just looking at their roster and looking over their roster, they got a lot of guys from Alabama, South Alabama. They got a lot of guys from Georgia. They got a lot of guys from Florida. And when you look at that, you see a lot of good, athletes, because that's a lot of real athletic high school football, in those areas. So I would probably think they're not very big. They're 275, 280 when you look at their front. So I'm sure they're fast, they're athletic. I don't know, like I said, I haven't watched them enough to sit there and see what they do, quarters or man, but I'm sure that they can do it all with the type of athletes that they have.
Is there anything special about going back to the place where you played the bowl game? Is that something that you kind of think about much, or no big deal?
It's not really a big deal, but anytime you go on the road, we got to have the mentality of great offense, great defense, great special teams, and just play great as a team to get the job done.
Yeah, with what Mark said, it's just another game, another great opportunity for us, and nothing really special about it, but it should be fun.
All right, thank you.